Welcome to another midweek S&P 500 analysis. Today is January 27, 2021. In this video, we'll look at today's market sell-off and review the post-earning price action for Apple, Tesla, and AMD. Let's look at the index before we go and look at the stock. In this S&P 500 daily chart here, as you can see that we're expecting a little bit of a pullback, and we actually got that today. You can see that it came down to this channel here that we've been looking at for quite a while, and then just recently we put up this big channel here, and we were saying that don't be surprised to see a pullback to kind of shake out some of the market participants before it try to move up and make another new high. And you can see on the pullback, we're saying that this particular trend line could be one possible support or near this 3720 level here. So in the coming days, we're going to see would it be able to hold this support level and bounces back up. And if it doesn't, then we essentially are looking for this continuation move down to this 3645.99, essentially this pivot high here. And looking at the NASDAQ 100, we see that the NASDAQ 100 pulled back as well. And we're saying that if it pulled back, we're looking for this gap to get filled. And almost got filled today. So probably keep on a watch to see would it continue to move down and fill this gap. And essentially, we also got a little bit of a trend line coming up here to see would it be able to hold support on this trend line. If it doesn't, remember we're talking about the possibility of coming back down and possibly test this 12,439 level. But if it does find some support near this trend line, then we expect it to continue to push up. And you can see that it took out this 13,515. Then the next one is we're going to be looking at this level 13,800 area, this 786 area here on this major move extension. So essentially somewhere around that 80% level on that major move. Here we're looking at the Dow Jones Industrial. As we see, the Dow Jones Industrial is pulling back and tagging this lower channel trend line here. Now, if it doesn't get a bounce and move back up to the upper channel on this bigger channel, then we basically are looking for the possibility of coming back down to this 29,228 area. And here the Dow Jones Transportation finally booked this channel, and right now it kind of gapped down today. It gapped down today, is coming back down and fell to this 12,379. So we're essentially looking at this 12,096 area now. You know, essentially this gap here, right? This gap is still remain unfilled. So we'll see would it be able to come down and get a bounce back up. So maybe it will get back to the channel and move up to this 13,400 area, this 618. Or there's a potential that it could come up and start forming a head and shoulder pattern or a topping pattern. So we'll see. We just kind of have to wait and see and let the market tell us what it's going to do. Then here on the Russell 2000, it finally came up and tagged this 2177.80. It came up to, in this 2200 level, it came up to 2194.90 and then pulled back. So right now, it's setting up this trend line here, the upper trend line of this channel. We're going to see would it be able to get a bounce back up. If it's not, if it continue to come back into this channel, then we are saying that we're going to be looking at this price level here, somewhere around 1935 for the next support area, and see would it get a bounce here. If it's not, then we're basically looking for this thing to continue to come down to the lower channel trend line near this 1800 area. So those are the indexes, and let's go and take a look at the internal to see what they are telling us before we go and look at Tesla, Apple, and AMD post-earning move. So here, looking at this sentiment chart here, we see the VIX came up today and closed at 37.22. So there seems to be a little bit more fear coming back into the market But strangely enough, is the put call ratio is still down at the 0.49 area. It's not up inside of this 0.75 or above it. So apparently the risk is still on. So we have to keep an eye on this fix here in the coming day to see is this just an aberration, or this put call ratio will eventually make its way back up above the 0.75. So this is certainly a little bit of a yellow flag, and get a little bit more cautious here. Now we are looking at the up-down volume ratio on the New York Stock Exchange. It is still positive. Today is positive 1.24. So there was 1.24 times more up volume than down volume, but the advanced decline, there were over 2,000, 2,224 more decliners than the advancers. So that is pretty negative here. And then the new high, new low, there are still 81 more new highs than new low. So that's a positive, but it did come back down a bit from the 200 plus level a few days ago. Now in the cumulative AD line, we also see that the cumulative AD line also kind of rolling down as well with the index. And looking at the close, the S&P 500 on a closing basis, this seems to be quite of a dip here. It came down below this area here. So, the index might be showing a little bit more weakness than the advanced decline. Although today, the advanced decline, like we said earlier, it is over 2,200 more decliners than advancers. And here, looking at the NASDAQ, the NASDAQ market also, you see the advanced decline is minus 2,727. In other words, 2,727 more decliner than advancer. But the up-down volume ratio is positive, so there are more up volume than down volume. The ratio is 1.31. I mean, there's 1.31 times more up volume than down volume. Although the index is down, you see down 2.8% or over 377 points. But again, the new high, new low, there are more new high than new low by 123. So that is a little bit more positive, although, it came down a bit, from this 500 level area all the way down to 123. Then the cumulative advanced decline line for the for the NASDAQ market seems to be a little bit more steep, also coming down. Same with the, just like the NASDAQ 100 index, and it come below. Well, kind of get right near this pivot high here. So, and this right here, you can see that it is a little bit lower than this pivot here. So that's another yellow flag that we should keep in mind. So overall, the today's sell-off seems to raise a little bit more fear from the VIX, but strangely enough, is the put call ratio is still a little bit bullish, and there's still no hedge being bought yet. But you never know. We could see a continuation of sell-off tomorrow, then we'll probably see people start buying puts. All right, so let's go and take a look at those stock, Tesla, Apple, and AMD, and see how they perform after they have reported earnings. Now, starting off with AMD, we see AMD here, it came down and got close to this projected target on the low side at 86.34. And right now, we're basically looking to see would it be able to get a bounce here, because just because it come down here doesn't mean this is all over, right? It's just basically just a projected move on a post-earning type of price action. But if it does, continue to come down, then we basically are looking for the possibility to come back down to this pretty much a retracement zone here near this 76 area, okay? And also confluence with this this trend line here, okay? But the other thing is, remember, we're talking about this potential cup and handle type of pattern here. So we could still see this reverse back up and break above this handle and move up to a projected move on the cup and handle. So if go back and take a look at that, on this cup and handle here, just use this as the bottom of the cup and using this as the top of the cup, and we project and we'll get a little bit of a somewhere around this 114, 115 area. So we still could see the price possibly come up here to this level if it could, break this balance area here, right? And that's basically all handle. Okay, so that's one thing to keep an eye on. But again, yeah, if it continue to move down, then we're basically looking at this 76 area and get back into this retracement zone, and it's possibly there's a possibility that it could come back and retrace back down to this balance area here. But we'll see. Right now, we'll just basically watch to see would it be able to hold this area right near this 86 area. Now here we are looking at Apple. This is a daily chart, so it didn't. So it doesn't show the after-hour chart. So I'm going to switch over to a more of a 12-hour chart here, and you can see Apple after-hour prices also came down here, but it did not come down to this level here of 133.26. Right, it got short of that, but it did fall after hour. And right now we essentially are looking to see would it be able to hold above the support and then move up. Because here's the pattern that I'm looking at. Again, similar to AMD, we're basically looking for a possibility of a cup and handle, and this is the handle here. So this is the top of the cup. So we could still be looking at this if it chop around here and still be able to continue to move upward on Apple, and we could basically make a projected move on this cup and handle. And basically this is what this right here is. This is the projected move using the Fibonacci extension tool, and that will project a 100% cup and handle move to somewhere around 173. And also it's in confluence with this 141, right? Basically using that Fibonacci retracement. One thing about technical analysis, remember, this is more of an art than science. And also in the game of trading is to see, what are the market participant, so the other trader is watching. Because you have a lot of different people trading off of different different type of technical analysis. Right? Some they are Fibonacci, what we call fib trader, and some they're Elliott wave and all those other guys, right? And some basically just support and resistance. So so right now that's why we also look at this, and if we do this Fibonacci retracement on this swing here, then we also could see some of the level if those people that are trading this particular swing using Fibonacci retracement, what are some of the level that they will be monitoring as a potential target level or resistance area. And that's why we look at these numbers here, right? Same thing here with this 1618, right? So so we look for confluence. So if there are other people that tracing this cup and handle pattern, and what are some of the numbers that they be looking at? Well, they be looking at this major move of 173 and one, right? And you got the fifth guy looking at this 173 also at 141. So now you got a two group of trader looking at a similar type of level. So that make that level more interesting, right? Because there are small eyes on that level, and when price get to that level, we can see more reaction there. All right, that's one of the reasons why. Sometimes you see me put in a lot of different, fib level and trend lines and, resistance and support area. And basically we look for confluence. The more things, confluent with each other, then that means there's a higher probability of those price level will get some reaction. Okay, so that's why I got these things on there. Not to just clutter up the chart, the chart here. So so that's basically what I'm looking at right now for Apple. using this 12-hour chart to get the after hour. So we'll see what we're going to do tomorrow. Is it going to come down? If it continues to move down, then we're basically looking at the possibility to come back down to this trend line here, near this 125, 126 area, and see what it holds. Because even though it come down and still be hopping around here and come back up, we still consider that as a part of the up and handle. But the other thing is, if it come back in, we most likely will see this come back down, because basically, we're looking at this like a balance area, and then here we broke above it and it came back in. Then we would classify this as a look above and fail. So when we see something like that, then there's a good possibility of the price retrace back down to the other side of that balance area. Okay, so that's basically what I'm looking at right now for Apple. And if you get down to this trend line, there might be some interesting opportunity to look for a long setup, right? So you never know. Now we are looking at Tesla. This is the range for Tesla's post-earning price projection 808 and 957. Okay, so let's go and switch over to the 12-hour chart so we could get some after our post-earning move. And you can see that Tesla actually came down to this 808 level here and kind of bounced back up a little bit. So right now, we're going to see would it be able to hold this essentially like a little flag here. Right? If we take a look at this right here, we could also look at this as a bull flag. And if we could hold this level here at the 808 area and come back up, then we could also make a projection of using it as a flag. Now, before I was looking at this right here, okay, as a major move, and what I did is basically just took this low here from the swing and come back here to the pivot low and then measure up. And if we get a little bit of a symmetry move, essentially we trace this particular swing here, right? This swing from this low here to the top here, then we're basically, looking at this this move up here to this 1073.88 approximate level there. Now, right now we are looking at this as a possible bull flag, right? So we're basically looking at this, and then what we're going to do is we're going to do a projected move based on a bull flag. So I'm going to move this Fibonacci extension to this breakout point here. Now we're going to see what that project up. Now it's going to project at the 80% projected move. The major move will be 1158, and the 618 is still 1055. But again, we need to see what this is going to do, right? Is it going to come back down, or it's going to move back up? So it's critical to see what the Tesla going to do. Will it reverse back up? If it come back down, then you see this low volume zone here. Okay, then price could fall to here fairly quickly, and then we be looking at this high volume area, and here's this high volume node. So we could see it chop down at this level, and that will bring it down below, below the 700 level, and essentially come down to this 690 to somewhere around 610. Right? This is this balance area here, this high volume area here. So we'll see what it's going to do here once it dip its toe down here. Would it get rejected and then get a nice bounce back up, or will it just come to real quickly and get back looking for this high volume zone for some support here? All right, so that is Tesla, and it came down to this target level, the lower target level of what the market was pricing in. All right, so that is a look of these three stocks, AMD, Tesla, and Apple post-earning move, and also the market. Hope you find this video informative, and be sure to smash that thumbs up to help me promote and share this video. Thank you for watching and stay safe.